What mask have I worn just to survive? I wore the mask of camouflage, blending my personality to whatever kept me safe. I hid from being desired like attention was a threat, not a gift. I buried my God given talent, not because it wasn't there, but because shining felt dangerous. I performed competence while quietly unraveling. I smiled like I was okay while carrying the total weight of depression. These masks didn't just hide me, they rewrote me. And now I want to come back to my truth of who I am. Unmasked, unedited, and unafraid to take up space. This week, we name the mask. We trace where it first fused our face. We listen to what the promise was: safety, acceptance, invisibility. And we tell it the truth. You're no longer needed. Write a letter to the mask. Tell it how it made you feel. Tell it how it harmed you. Tell it goodbye. Burn it, bury it, rip it up. But don't keep it. You're not who you had to be to survive. You were who you were born to be. Unmasked. Unlearn me. The one who kept her voice low so nobody would want too much. The one who downplayed her brilliance just to make others feel comfortable. The one who smiled through breakdowns, acted confidence in chaos, and called it strength. Unlearn the version of me built on trauma, survival, and keeping the peace. I want the woman God made, not the one feared fashioned. I want to take off these borrowed personalities and be nothing but honest. I want to live so freely in my truth that lies can't survive near me. Unlearn me so I can remember who I was before you masked. You can't be transformed in the dark. 2 Corinthians 3:18 says, "But we all with open face beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord are changed from glory to glory." We're not transformed by performance. We're transformed by exposure, by being real in the presence of the Most High. False identities isn't just a bad habit, it's a spiritual stronghold. Some of us are bowing to the idol of image, wearing it like it's confident, wearing strong like armor, wearing put together like protection. But God doesn't want a costume. He wants the soul. You don't reflect his glory by hiding your story. You reflect it by surrendering it. So here's how to escape false identities. Step 1, acknowledge the mask. Name the false self you've been performing. Step 2, behold his glory. Spend more time in the word, not the mirror or in front of that man or woman, whoever it is. Step 3, surrender to the transformation. Let God make you over. No filter, no performance, just truth. You were never called to manage your image. You were called to mirror his. The mask can't transform, but the spirit can. And he's not asking you to impress him. He's asking you to let him in. This is your reminder. You're not becoming someone new. You're becoming someone real. So don't just listen to this. Live it. Look in the mirror. Name the mask you wear like armor and speak it out loud. Then spend some real time in the word. Not scrolling, no filters, no edits, just raw surrender. If you're ready, that's what God needs. Why do we wear the mask? Because silence was cheaper than the pain of speaking? Because honesty threatened to break something too fragile, something not even ours to fix? Because they, the ones who should have held us, held their own fears like chains and passed them down like cursed heirlooms? The mask is not your story. It's a script handed down. It's a weight borrowed from broken hands, a shadow that isn't yours to carry. But what if the mask fell off? Not because you fight, but because you stop carrying what's not yours. What if the truth you hide is the revolution? What if the face you hide is the healing the world desperately needs? This is the new vision. Not to bear the burden, but to lay it down. Not to fit in, but to stand fully unmasked and dare the world to see you. Go back, rewatch this, and let it sink in a little bit deeper. And then ask yourself, who gave me this mask? Who asked me to carry it? Write it down and remember, it's not your burden to carry. I carried masks like armor, not because I wanted to lie, but because the world taught me at an early age the truth was dangerous. Being too much got me hurt. Being too talented made me a target. Being sensitive got me labeled weak. So I shapeshift. I played safe. I disappeared into roles: competent, quiet, agreeable, unbothered. But none of those masks were me. I started letting that go the day I realized I didn't owe anyone my distortion. The truth is, surviving isn't living, and camouflaging who God made me to be just to stay digestible was killing my soul. So, how do you release the mask? You start small. You love the version of yourself you once rejected. You tell the little girl inside of you, you don't have to hide anymore. You learn what you like, not what earns praise or performance worth, but what lights you up from the inside. Maybe that looks like resting instead of scrubbing floors at midnight. Maybe it looks like deleting that person's voice from your head, the one who told you that you're being soft, that's making you weak, or who is Vera Milo anyways? Exactly. You walk in your truth when you choose presence over performance, when you trust your gift is enough to use without apologizing, when you let your voice shake and speak, when you feel unlovable but still love yourself anyways. And you'll know the mask is gone when you start to just live life and feel the truth. Not performing, not polished, just you, unmasked, unedited, and finally free to breathe. Take 5 minutes today and speak your name out loud, your name. Without the titles, without the role, without the mask, just your name. Then ask, who am I when I'm not performing? Say it in the comments if you're ready. I remember my name. This week, we let some things die, not for drama, but for freedom. We peeled off the mask we were never meant to wear. We called out the false selves we performed just to survive. And we chose truth over image, even at the cost of approval. That was the holy undoing, the sacred work of releasing what we built outside of God so He can rebuild what was always His. So now we enter the middle, where the old is gone and the new isn't visible yet. This is the stretch. This is the ache. This is the divine tension. This is where we learn to hold hope when the miracle is still in process. Welcome to week 4, the sacred middle. It may not look like glory, but it is. Because staying the course when it's uncomfortable, that's holy ground too. But don't rush into next things. Pause. Sit in the middle. Reflect on what you've buried this week and what you've been wanting to rise up. Drop "I'm still here" in the comments if you're choosing to stay in the stretch, even when it's silent, even when it's slow.